regular chit chat with Wave on a Sunday, and hope everyone is doing well. You had a wonderful week, and you're just home relaxing like I am, on a typical Sunday right here in the U.S. Virgin Islands where I reside. For those of you just joining us, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell on your way out so you can stay updated on the latest videos on this channel, of course. So let's get into the topic today. I'm actually going to be talking about retail essential workers. And I do work for a company with a very big retail chain in the United States and here also in the U.S. Virgin Islands. We have a chain down here. And I have to say, when we found out, everyone was, getting briefed, or the pandemic came out and all of that, our CEO and our board members and everybody, I guess district managers, all store managers got together and they came up with a fabulous stimulus package for the employees, which I was so amazed that, they kept us in mind and our families, and they also kept us working. And also want to say thank you to our customers who also patronize our business here on the island of St. Thomas. But I do have to say, it was a wonderful package that they did. They gave us a bonus. Also, they gave us extra leave time of absence if you needed it. For if anyone was affected or their family was affected due to the coronavirus, you had they considered that and also give you the time that you need to be with your family and to take care of your family. Even single mothers, and with single mothers, they gave them extra time. I think they also compensated them if their kids were in daycare and so forth, because they understood that these kids were home now, and a lot of parents had to readjust their lives so that they can, make proper arrangements for someone to be in the house or to get proper daycare for the children. And that was very commendable of the company. One of the things that I liked was that they also took in consideration that there were employees that had pre-existing conditions, and they went ahead and gave them even extra time, because of those pre-existing conditions. Also, people who were 65 years older or older, they gave them an extra 2 weeks, including all the other bonuses that they have given them that was implemented into our stimulus. As a retail essential worker, when this first came about and about the pandemic, I think it was like maybe 2 weeks after that, we found out that one of our co-workers was indeed affected by the virus, and it broke a lot of our hearts and brought on a lot of concerns about, how our co-worker was going to, take care of his or herself. But the company stepped in and, just took care of one of our own. It's almost like being in the army and, you have a fallen soldier and we got to take care of each other. And I felt like this was really commendable of the company to have these things in place. Safety was one of the biggest things, social distancing, 6 feet away, in dealing with the customer, dealing with other associates. There were measures put in place. What I realized is that even here in the Virgin Islands, people were skeptical about the pandemic and certain things, the certain measures that the government and different companies were putting in place, because our people are so carefree and our people are so laid back that they didn't really understand what was really happening until we developed cases and they start knowing people who had it and so forth. I mean, the situation in the Caribbean was not as overwhelming like New York or any other places. I find that we are very fortunate to be here in the Caribbean. It's a little more relaxed. We are not panicking or anything like that. We're just taking the necessary measures to be safe here in the U.S. Virgin Islands and throughout the Caribbean. In our airports, we're taking the measures that we need when we have visitors coming in as well. But in the whole retail industry here in the Virgin Islands, a lot of people have lost jobs, whether in the hospitality, the tourism department, because of the fact that we do not have any, tourists coming in. Recently, we opened the beaches, and also I believe they opened the Airbnbs and the hotels. We do have flights coming in, but like everything, things have changed. Nothing is normal anymore. There are procedures that you do have to follow in terms of COVID-19 here in the Virgin Islands. The company that I work for did the correct things. They made sure we had gloves, masks, disinfectants, guards, for the cashiers and all the different things. Me personally, I am actually in the back office, so I only wore my mask when I go onto the floor, when I interact with customers and so forth. And also when I enter the building, when I'm leaving the building, I wear a mask. I use social distancing. Sometimes people forget, and I have to say, hey, we need to be 6 feet apart, and so forth. So we are taking the measures and everything like that. One of the things, dealing with customers during this time of the pandemic, a lot of customers, they're still in their normal ways, like, they come right up to you and talking to you, and you have to say, ma'am, could you just step back a little bit? We need to do a little social distancing here, and so forth. And we laugh about it, Some customers are a little bit stressful. We have to be kind of understanding in terms of what they're going through and everything like that. And we have to try to help them as best as possible, because they probably are dealing with so many stuff, maybe their health, maybe a family member, so many things that, that they may be going through that we may not know of, but we need to be a little compassionate towards each other. Secondly, the pandemic also, kind of put a lot of delays on our shipment coming here to the Virgin Islands. We had to monitor these shipments, making sure these products get here on the island. And what hit us most was Puerto Rico shutting down. Once Puerto Rico shut down, there were companies and vendors that we were dealing with, and it just created a major setback. So like 2 months setback. So now things are slowly coming back. Puerto Rico is still on lockdown, but we are still doing business with them, and we're negotiating and doing things daily to ensure that the customer is taken care of. So as a retail essential worker, life has been a little bit difficult, but in the overall picture, there have been measurements put in place to take care of me as the retail essential worker. And when you're looking for a job or anything like that, you want to look for companies that invest in their associates. You want to look for companies that have benefits, that during these times that that you feel secure, that you still have a job. And another thing I tell people is that you should have a pipeline. In retail we call it a pipeline, that you should have various incomes, different incomes, that if one slows down, you can do something else. And also during the pandemic, we also need to realize that we have our own creativity, and we can create new jobs for ourselves. And we just have to keep pushing and get the initiative, create something that you love. whether it's a business, whatever it is, I don't care what it is, but you're passionate about it. Yes, you love your job. I do sympathize. I have a lot of friends, you know, they've been working with an establishment for 10, 20 years, and everything was closed down. You know, they're in the hotel industry. No one's coming in. No cruise ships. No visitors. So now you have to find something that is going to work. Something that maybe you wanted to do years ago and you didn't have the opportunity to do it. This is the time. This is the time to reinvent yourself. This is the time to be innovative and to recreate yourself. And I tell people that all the time. So with that said, I'm going to close it on that note. And I just want to say thank you guys for viewing my channel. Thank you for your support. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you can be updated on all our latest videos here on Love to Travel with Wave. And I will see you next time. Have a wonderful Sunday. All right. Thank you for joining us here on Love to Travel with Wave.